Hello everyone and welcome to this review for Vikings Season 5 Part 1. Now, the big question has been, how is Vikings going to cope without the loss of Ragnar, and to a lesser extent Egbert and Rollo? And if this first half is to be in evidence of this, they don't know how to fill the vacuum. He is still, you can still feel the weight of Ragnar. The fact that he's not there and these other characters just cannot, just completely unable to pick up the slack. They haven't been able to get other characters to really advance and fill the roles that have been left. For example, in England, without Egbert there, the Saxon characters are just left wanting. Alfred and the Bishop, Alfred, Judith, and the Bishop are now main characters, with Aethelwulf was always a minor character, secondary at best, and I would have hoped they would have given him more to do, but with this season they've basically reduced him to a proper joke. I mean, even when Egbert was around, he was a bit of a joke as well, because he's been pushed around by his father and had his wife taken as a mistress by his father, and yet to keep the son of an affair she had with, well, a failed monk. And then Judith playing this rather strange political game of making Alfred the king instead of her older son, which was kind of odd decision to make. I'd have thought it would have been more realistic, well, perhaps not realistic, but far more logical or narratively engaging to have Alfred rather than king straight away, given at least the half the season, get some battles in under his brother king, and then learn the ropes a little bit before perhaps his brother dies in battle and he takes over afterwards. Give him a chance to shine before he becomes king, but they really pushed forward this plot quite a bit, and I wonder if that means that they're looking to wrap up the English plot as some, because eventually Alfred the Great will defeat the Vikings and establish a proper border. As for the Vikings themselves, and Ragnar's sons in particular, none of them have really been able to replace Ragnar properly. I suspected that Bjorn would have been the one to do that, but unfortunately, he hasn't really been able to do that. He was like jumping halfway across the map with Halfdan at his side, and he's another character that promised a bit more, but seems to have not had any proper development throughout the series, which is a shame, really, considering his brother being the king of Norway, or rather, almost all of Norway. And then we're back to Ivar and the other two, Ube and what's his face. They're almost seem so relevant that they don't seem to. I can't remember their names properly. But the other sons, Ivar is more annoying than an actual character. The show seems to be building him up, but unfortunately, the battles have completely gone downhill since Ragnar's left. All he seems doing is a whole bunch of guys rammed into each other. No proper strategy, nothing like that, and it's so unimaginative, really. It's so surprising from a show which did so well with strategy beforehand, and it's all gone away. And then with Lagertha, I think Lagertha really needs to. I think this should be her last season, really, or at least if she's back for next season, it should be in a far more diminished role, as more like an advisory sort of position rather than warrior, especially with emotional turmoil at the end of the season. I think that's where her character needs to go, really. And to perhaps the poorest plotline of them all, Loki's plotline, him going off to Iceland. This has been such a disappointment. Floki was always such an interesting character and how he played it off against the other main characters, and he's now got a bunch of squabbling idiots to work with. And I understand that Iceland obviously will be settled at some point, and it'll be a proper Viking settlement, but they're not doing a very good job with this one. And it's just so dull. It's such a shame for the character, because, like I said, he was good when he was like Ragnar, Lagertha, and even some of the sons of Ragnar. He did well with them, and to all that go away, it's just disappointing. I mean, I got my fingers crossed that they can bring this back for the second half, with obviously Rollo being back. That's the big hope that Rollo can do something. Yeah, so been a quite disappointing season, really. I've got my fingers crossed. I'll be back for when the season. I'll probably come back in November, October, most likely. So that comes back, we'll do reviews on those episodes. So please subscribe, because we've got a lot more content coming out for you. Please like and comment, see what you thought about the episode. Tell me what you think of the season. And hear from you guys soon. Goodbye.